Stop eating junk food. Stop leading sedentary lifestyle and please stop surfing the internet for no reason.
But firstly, let me ask you, are you motivated enough to stop doing all the things? I don't think so. Because we can spend hours browsing social media, playing video games, but what about 1.5 hours of studying or spending another hour to work on a project that maybe will have success in the future? Doesn't sound too appealing, right? Even though we know that studying, working, exercising, or doing something equally productive will have long-term benefits for us, we still prefer procrastinating. One of you may say that the reason of this is so obvious. One thing is easy to do, but another one requires a lot of effort. Actually, the same idea I had 2 months ago. At that time, I also had a name. I didn't know how to get in a place where I wanted to be. A lot of people were saying to me that I had a big potential. Only thing that I needed to do was to just work on myself. However, at the end of the day, I was lying in a bed and watching K-drama. This was actually great. However, I knew that it was the steps that I was taking, I wouldn't be able to make my dreams come true. So all the time, I was trying to motivate myself by watching motivational videos or interviews of highly successful people every morning. I even kind of had morning routine devoted to these inspirational blogs. However, the effect lasted not for a long time. After approximately 2 hours, I was stopping being motivated. I was judging myself for not being disciplined. I was comparing with my peers who had some educational prosperities. I had so many questions, such as, how these people can tackle difficult tasks. Maybe they have some tricks to make comprehensive things easier. Then, I came across a video on YouTube that was mainly about biological stuff. I got interested in it because I understood that the only thing that I needed to do to be full-time motivated was to just learn how my brain functioned. So I hope that my today's presentation will be your first step into learning your brains. So let me introduce brain neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is often considered as a pleasure molecule, but that's not quite what it does. Dopamine is what makes you desire things, and that desire pushes you to stand up and do something. To describe that power of dopamine, I need to say that even when you wanted to eat or drink something, along with that hunger and thirst that you have, there is undeniable role of dopamine that pushes you to stand up and grab some snacks, for example. Until now, it was impossible to study precisely the effect that dopamine has on our brains. With their new technology in 2020, MIT team was able to find that dopamine appears to exert significant impact on 2 cortexes of our brain, including motor cortex, that is responsible for addiction, learning, motivation, generating some disorders, and Parkinson's disease. So our brain develops priorities based on how much dopamine is going to get from the activity. If an activity releases a little dopamine, you will not have much motivation to do it, and vice versa. If an activity releases a lot of dopamine, you will be so addicted to do it that you can do it again and again, which begs the question, which behaviors really releases dopamine? I know that. Where you anticipate to get potential reward, releases it. But if you know that there is no immediate reward with an activity, your brain will not let dopamine out. I think it became clear. By studying and working are difficult to accomplish, because we don't always see immediate results from these activities. However, we know that after eating sugary product or playing video games, we will be entertained. So we anticipate that this food and this game will make us feel good. Even though they make us feel bad, but your brain doesn't care that high dopamine activities are damaging you. What does it care? It's how much dopamine it's gonna get, and it just wants more of it. As we live in today's digital society, we're flooding our brains with a natural amount of dopamine on a daily basis. So our brain get used to having these high levels of those hormones, and those levels became our new normal. In other words, we kind of create dopamine tolerance. the same tolerance as drug-addicted people have towards their drugs. And that is a huge problem. Because the things that simply don't release as much dopamine don't interest you any longer. They seem kind of boring, less fun, but simply they don't release dopamine at the same level as your brain anticipates to get from high dopamine activities. So once your dopamine receptors gets too high, you cannot enjoy the things with low dopamine. Underlying a clear problem here, we can move to the solution part. Only thing that you need to do as a solution is to perform dopamine detox. What you're gonna do is set aside one day from your whole week where you're gonna avoid all highly stimulating activities. This day will give chance to your dopamine receptors to recover. For one whole day, you will be forbidden to use internet, gadgets. You will be not allowed to eat junk food and even to listen to music. Basically, you're gonna remove all external pleasure, and trust me, there will be a lot of it. You can think of this dopamine detox this way. Let's say you have been having every single meal of yours in one of the best restaurants in your hometown. As a result, what happened is that those fancy meals became your new normal. If somebody offered you a bowl of plain rice, you would probably refuse it. Because this rice wouldn't taste as good as those restaurant meals. But let's fancy that you found yourself in a big desert island and there is no restaurant right now, but you are hungry. And if that person offered you a bowl of plain rice, you would eat this rice because in this situation, this rice wouldn't seem so bad. And that is what dopamine detox does. It starts you off all pleasure and in turn makes less satisfying things more desirable. In other words, dopamine detox works as you become so bored that boring stuff seems more fun. I hope from now on you can motivate yourself without watching any motivational videos and reach your goals by connecting more dopamine to the activities that actually benefit you. And that was the idea worth spreading. Thank you.